Operation status quo. Operation status quo. Prepare to engage. Operation status quo. Ready to engage. Operation status quo. Engaged. Engaged. I literally just hit like 4 wrong buttons. I wanted to come on like I normally do, go, hey, it's Operation Status Quo, right? Like how I always do. And then the first thing I did was turn my microphone off. I said, oh, that's not the right button. And then I hit the button. I hit this button that put this screen, but I was already on that screen, right? So then I said, oh, no, that's not the right button. So then here I am, and then here I am, and here we are. We did it. We did it. Yeah. That's great. We're done. We're done. We did it. We accomplished it. Hey-o. Just getting here. Just getting here and starting is an accomplishment. You know, I don't know what's going on with 2026, ladies and gentlemen. I guess I'm like just behind in general on 2026 because it seems like every week Wednesdays used to be no problem. I just always used to come on a Wednesday, but for some reason, most of the shows I've done thus far in 2026 have been Thursdays. So maybe the universe is telling me that the show is supposed to be on a Thursday now. I don't really know. I always intend to kind of do it on a Wednesday, but it's just the way things go. And you know, we go with the flow here. We create our own flow of quo. That's what Operation Status Quo is all about. And instead of me rambling here for the past 2 minutes now, right? It's 2 minutes already, 1.5 minutes, and we've accomplished absolutely nothing, which is par for the course here on Operation Status Quo, because that's what it's all about. We're just enjoying life, observing life. Heyo. I am pete.palma. I am your user-friendly host broadcasting live from the comfy confines of my very own home, ladies and gentlemen. And this is Operation Status Quo, the place where we observe the status quo of life. We learn to flow with the status quo of life. And then, of course, most importantly, we create our own flow of quo, because that's the only way to go. So what are you doing out there right now, this very moment? Please, this very second, what are you doing to create your own flow of quo? Let me know in the comments below, because you know if you're not living your flow of quo, you're living someone else's flow. And why must I say it all the time? But I will continue to say it until it gets through your head. You are living someone else's flow, and that is the no. No, we don't do that here on Operation Status Quo. Heyo. All right, so, oh boy. Let me move this over here and get over there. You guys feeling good? I always love coming on and speaking with you, the beautiful people of the world. That's what it's all about here on Operation Status Quo, right? We're just a place of togetherness and love. That's what I always say, place of togetherness and love. I was just looking around to see, my cat was wandering around, and I wonder where he went. He was just here. I was going to put him, last week when I was on the show, he was laying here next to me the whole time. And I meant to, use the close cam and put him up and, give him a little airtime. But I forgot because I still got into what I was talking about. And today I said, I'm going to make sure if he's here that I'm going to, give him a little airtime. But of course, because I want to do it, he's not here. But we can use the drum. All right, let's do something somewhat meaningful here. I always have to get it all out of my system. I'm living like what may seem like a normal life, right? You get up and you go do your thing, and then all of a sudden I'm going to come on Operation Status Quo, and I never know what's going to happen because this is the live stream of consciousness, and I just start talking, and my whole life could change within 20 minutes. God knows what I might say to ruin everything and anything I've ever tried to build and accomplish in my life. All right, so today is what is today? The 5th of February. That's another funny thing. I really thought this was my second show in February. And then I realized, wait a minute, this is not the second show because the last show was still in January. When I went back, and I don't know why. I'm thinking it's only 5 days in February, but for some reason I felt like, that's something time is like, isn't time weird, right? It's like, it's all mushy. You don't even know what day it is or what is going on. It was just January. Now it's February. It was just Christmas. It was just 1980, for God's sake. I was enjoying myself as a kid, having a good time. I was still going to McDonald's. I didn't care about myself or life. I was a kid. I loved it. Heyo. And then reality set in, of course, and then 2020, which was the ultimate reality setting in of understanding that everything we believed and everything we loved and everything we thought would be is nothing but a lie. And here we are on Operation Status Quo to observe that and sort it all out and find our way into the new world. And that's what we do here. So today, as I said, is the 5th of February in the good year 2026. And today's program is entitled Brew Your Millions. That's right. It's funny because everyone Well, generally, people kind of base their life based on, or equate their life to what they've gained monetarily and material wise, right? As levels of success. If you hit a certain threshold of income or a certain job title or, whatever, all that kind of stuff, people kind of gauge their life on that. When in reality, that's all the fleeting nothing, right? I'm saying you can have all that and, get real sick the next day, and all of a sudden your whole life changes, money or no money. So, but why I'm saying brew your millions today is like really brewing your millions. It's like a twofold thing. One, it comes from the movie Brewster's Millions, if you remember, with Richard Pryor. What a great flick that was. But I'll get into that as why I'm saying that. But brew your millions really is by living true to you is what brews the true millions, the true richness of life, and that's what we talk about here on Operation Status Quo. Really. For whatever tangents I go off, and every once in a while, right here, I'm in a moment of clarity. For whatever tangents I go off on, and all the nonsense of the bells and whistles and nonsense, But the truth is, it's all about living, true to you and showing people in a sense of being authentically yourself, and that's like how you thrive in life, as opposed to trying to meet the needs of what society wants you to do, or what parameters they set of which are the right things to do to be accomplished and whatnot, right? So you brew your millions by by living your authentic self, and it brews into the universe in millions, not necessarily in how we calculate dollar terms, but you might be, rich in your soul, which is way more important anyway, because what is money? I've always talked about it's a needless, nonsensical attribute of physicality. Quite honestly, to me, it's just if everyone was resonating at their best selves and was interested and curious about each other, we would all kind of work together to build each other up and explore each other's differences in creative processes and gifts and attributes to offer society. And it would be like a confluence of helping as opposed to a confluence of separation. Money kind of really separates everything if you think about it. Like, I wasn't really intending to go down this path about money, but here we go, the live stream of consciousness. But to say money really is a divider. Everybody needs money just for the basic things, food, water, right? Whatever. You need money for just to live, right? That's step one. And then they pump all these products and imagery and social ways at people, programming to make you think you need these things. So now all of a sudden, not only do you need the money just to get food, now you need the money it's like to buy some widget that you think is important because it was on a commercial while you were watching the Super Bowl, right? I mean, so it's just and then it becomes a division because, people who don't have or so much in that regard are looked at, or not looked at, but looked at as less than, and maybe they become jealous of people who have more. Like, why do they have that? Just creates all this division. And then how many people think they're better than other people, because they have the money and all that type of thing. I've told this story before, I think, in a show in the past, a while back, but I'll never forget. I went to a football game, a Philadelphia Eagles, because I'm from the area, Philadelphia Eagles game, and I had the opportunity to be, in one of the big club box type deals, the whole, treatment. So I went to this game, and I went with some people, and I got out when we pulled up, they have the parking, the valet parking and all there, and I got out of the car, and as I got out of the car, the guy ran over and apologized to me for not opening the door for me. And I was like, I felt so horrible. I was like, oh my God, this poor man is worried about he's going to get in trouble because he didn't open the door for me. And it's like, I think about it. I can't even imagine what kind of world we're in where, that just saying, just open, unless you're an invalid, open the damn door for yourself. I mean, you're in the car, you want to get out of the car, you open the door. You're in the car, it feels warm, you put the window down. What if you're driving down the road? You got to pull over somewhere and get somebody to put the window down because you're feeling warm? Hey-o. I don't know. It just was a crazy thing to me. I was like, oh my gosh, but people like that high life thing. Like, excuse me, I have been sitting in this vehicle now for 20 seconds waiting for you to open the door. Now, I have a game to attend to, and I have people waiting for me, and you're holding me up because I have to wait for you to open the door. Yes, of course, I could just open it. I could just grab the handle and open the door and push it and I could step out of the car at any given time. I could do that. But I pulled into this parking lot and I pay a lot for this ticket, and I need you not only to open the door for me, but I want you to escort me out of the car and then give my buttocks a little squeeze, and as you push me along, then say you're a good person. Hey-o. All right, so let me get it. So Brewster's Millions, this is what I kind of wanted to kind of say. In the movie Brewster's Millions, if you haven't seen it, it's like an 80s classic. So go back and watch, But really, he was doing everything he could to lose his money, right? Because, I mean, it's a spoiler alert, okay, here, in case you guys haven't seen it. But, he was given a certain amount of money, and he had this, if he was able to spend this money, all this money within a certain amount of time, and be left with nothing, he would wind up with a larger portion of money. But he wasn't allowed to tell anybody, so he had to go about trying to lose all the money while the people around him thought he was crazy and were trying to, convince him not to spend all his money, right? So it was one of those type of things. And of course, well, you can watch the movie and see how it played out. How do you think it finished? Do you think he did it? But, people didn't understand him and they thought he was crazy. But really, he knew exactly what he was doing, although he couldn't say it, which I relate to, like, in my life is like, I could say what I'm doing. I could talk about things, but I don't think people really understand sometimes, like, what I'm saying is a lot of people in my older circles, I would say, just still have this mindset of the world in a certain way, meaning like, this is how you earn an income. This is how you do this. This is how you do that. And, I'm a little bit outside those parameters, but I create what I create, like on my platforms, just because I love it and it's what I do and it's who I am. I don't monetize things. I don't ask for things, right? Again, going back to Brew Your Millions, I'm not trying to put things out and expecting something back. Like the mission I have with everything that I do, whether it be, the show, the music, and by the way, the website is being worked. So I'll give an update on that at the end again too. But anyway, and I just live true of who I am and what comes out of me naturally. I'm not trying to be anybody with all this, like, as ridiculous as I am. Like, I'm not trying to be ridiculous. I'm just naturally ridiculous, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, can you just let me be? I got enough mental problems as it is. Now I got to worry about what you think of me, for God's sake. Hey-o. But seriously, and I just, like I say, I do what I do because it's authentically who I am. I love it, of course, and that's the bigger prize for me. Just like in the movie, he knew that he was going for this bigger prize. I mean, of course, it's money. It's the movies, but really, what is wealth in life? Your soul. You can't put a price on that. Although a lot of these people, right, they sell their soul to the devil so they can, have that high life as far as their human time. But that all kind of goes away, and then you got to pay back. Nothing's for free, ladies and gentlemen. Whatever you want to say. I mean, if you get something's happening, there's always energy transfers, and I guess to me, I just I feel like I don't have to ask for, like, I wouldn't even want to, I feel like dirty in a way. Like, I would say, like, if I got an offer one day to do something, like, I don't know, be in a movie or something that I would love, or be on a show or something. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure I get paid because I'm on a show, or I would do a movie. It'd be great. That'd be a lot of fun. I would love that, right? But like, as far as like me coming to the people, you the people, I'm a man of the people. As far as me coming in this regard to speak to an audience, to put forth the videos I do on my social media and such, and here too. I mean, they're here. I always say, because I post them up on like Facebook and Instagram first, so the character video. So I always think of this channel, the YouTube, as the live chat, the Operation Status Quo portion. But really, this channel does have everything. So I mean, I put the stuff out. I don't want to tell people, here, you can watch like 30 seconds of my video, and then if you go to my Patreon and pay me this, you can watch the end. Like, I don't know. I just rather share who I am and what I do and put it out there. And like, what I'm saying is, and what I'm trying to express to us as we see how this world is changing and everything that's going on, it's more important now than ever to really live true to you and be who you are, and let life surprise support you. Like, I've been very blessed, and I feel very fortunate that life has supported me through the endeavor I've been doing here over these past, really, I mean, we're going on like 3 years of like, since I really kind of started this, I mean, I didn't even know what I was going to be doing. I just knew I was doing, the live streams here, and then I started with the music a little bit, and it built into everything where we are. But I mean, it's been this journey, and I've seen how it's developed, and quite honestly, I've been very blessed to be supported and given the opportunity to have the time and space to reflect and let this, what it is that I'm doing, grow. And again, it's not about like what I'm doing. I'm just an example. Like, I'm trying to be an example. Like, I'm a good example of a bad example, ladies and gentlemen. That's what it is. You've heard of that, right? Yeah. Hey-o. But yeah, and I like an example of just saying, doesn't matter what you do. Like, it doesn't have to be anything, some grand thing or whatever, right? Some people are shy. They don't want to talk to people the way I do. But it's just about living true to you and what it is that you do. And if you really follow that and not try to acquire life situations based on fear or potential lack, like, if you really have an understanding, and you're, let's say one, but if you have an understanding with the universe, if you see a bigger picture, then you know that it's bigger than trying to hold on to what seems comfortable for the moment. And you can only stockpile like so much food and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, as far as like our physical world goes, like how many you're gonna build, how many bunkers you're gonna build, how many like canned foods you're gonna buy, how many guns you're gonna own, right? I mean, what's the end game? Like, remember like in the Book of Eli movie with Denzel Washington, right? And he's walking, and they come across that farmhouse with the older couple, and they're there, and I guess they had become cannibals, and whoever shows up, they wind up like eating them and stuff. I'd just be like, if life got to some kind of point like that, like, do we even really want to be alive? Like, what I'm saying is, like, if it became some crazy apocalyptic way, and just, everything is just, I mean, you want to just live on some little place out with nobody's around, and you got to shoot everybody that comes through, and you got to eat people. It just seems like a lot of work. I mean, like, how do you find a happy day there? Like, is there a chance to take a ride to go to the beach or do anything? Is there like anything possible? I don't know. I just don't want to live in that type of way. I don't see things in I'm not saying not to be prepared. Like, the power goes out, you have a little bit of something to eat or whatever, right? Some water around. But I mean, you're going to stock up to live like 5-10 years underground if like nukes go off. I mean, like, I don't even know, right? I mean, what's the purpose? It's like, and to me, if life still wants me around at that point, then I guess I'll be around. Otherwise, I'll be gone when it all happens. But like, again, just going back to saying, like, to me personally, I feel like, I don't want to use the word like that I won, but I feel fulfilled, that I feel abundant. I should use that word, like, instead of won. Like, I feel abundant, even though I'm like the unknown, I'm like the unknown celebrity. Nobody knows him, but I feel it. Like, I feel it. I'm just joking around about that, but it just. But anyway, yeah, like, I feel abundant because I'm like living. Life is supporting me, just enough to do what I got to do. And that's how life is. Life doesn't give you more than you can handle, and life supports you on the mission you're supposed to be on. And if you do what is right in your heart, and you're following your soul, basically, then life will always support you. It might not always look like what you think it should look like, but you have to be honest with yourself and say, okay, well, am I supported? Do I have what I need? Like, you can feel if you're off path, I believe, overall. I think about it a lot myself and question and try to, always try to rein myself in and say, okay, I've been doing this and that. Is it, am I still, how am I really resonating with this? You never want to get like roped into or trapped into just like automatically just doing things. That's what I like about doing this show the way I do it. It's like live stream of consciousness. Whatever, comes to be, and the words that I say is what comes out for the messages that are meant to be heard type thing. Like, I have a general idea of a few things I want to say, but generally I don't. Just as generally I don't, right? I kind of just go off and just speak and see, kind of what wants to come through. And like I said, I just believe if I continue to do what I'm doing, life will continue to support me. And if I find that adjustments need to be made, I'll know because I'm listening to, and trying to work with life instead of working against it. Like, when, you people who are real afraid of everything in certain ways or more mainstream mindset and programmed and follow media and really believe all this crap and all that type of stuff. Like, you put yourself in this space where you can't let life in almost because you spend so much time, not you personally, right? I'm just saying you as a general, but spend so much time trying to hold on to what might make you feel safe or what you think you need or what's tomorrow going to bring or this light bulb went out. I don't know, just like stupid stuff like all the time, right? And you're so consumed that you never take the space to say, well, what's life telling me? And I don't know. I just think that's the most important message of anything, of everything that's going on in our world today for all the, again, I always talk about not taking sides and all this type of stuff. Like everything's a reflection and a projection. So, like look at it in these regards and you can brew your millions, ladies and gentlemen. And that comes from within your heart. So I don't know. Because when you do that, obviously is what I'm trying to say is that, you realize life is a game or you're the player of the game. You decide. So it's, it's basically everything in our life is our creation. So, we're the player and that's it. And the only questions you really should ever kind of be asking is what's the situation reflecting to me? What am I to learn? What's the best way for me to move forward? So I don't know. I mean, that's kind of like what, how I try to go about what I do. It's like, that's the justification I put, in my life, ladies and gentlemen, to justify the way I live. Heyo. I just like to say it because, people do really take things very seriously. And listen, life is life. Everybody's different. It's all good. There's no right or wrong, good or bad. That's a general common knowledge here on Operation Status Quo. So it's just more about being aware and just about really just being aware and honest with yourself and whatever that is, and not looking for validation from outside places, not looking for, just you have a lot within yourself. As you pay attention to the world, there's so much going on in the world all the time, that, and there's so many different, I mean, just think about it. I mean, just from the point of view of like, there's, all the countries, everybody's got day-to-day lives and all these places all over the place and time differences. I mean, it's running 24/7. There's all kinds of opportunities and possibilities. And, if it's just interesting to think about how in this life, in a way, we're not only programmed by the global programming of whatever messages the hierarchy is trying to put into the population overall, but there's also your own limitation from where you have lived and born. Like, I know, how many people do you know that are in the same town area that, from their whole life, right? I'm just saying, like, and that no one even thinks to live somewhere else, or even not even have to live somewhere else, but just go live a month somewhere else. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I've had some of these experiences. I mean, obviously now that I moved away from where I was, which is great. Like, I can never even imagine going back and living where I was. I'm not saying I would stay here forever either. It's opened me up even more to think about how fun it is just to kind of explore and travel. It's nice to have a home base. I mean, I get it, but at the same time, I don't know. Like, there's just so many opportunities. I'm not saying that's right either. Some people don't want to travel and do all that. It's just really whatever people want to do. The point I'm making is to be open to the fact that there's endless possibilities, and you should never whine and complain about what's going on in your life. Really, you should be saying, well, I'm the creator and I'm making choices. So what is it about me that continues to create the situation? Why am I continuing to make choices to keep me in the space that I am complaining about? Why am I complaining about it? And what's it showing me? And if I'm complaining about it, why am I still doing it? So, that's really what kind of life is all about. And then you'd be surprised at what opens up. I've said this a lot too, that everything I've done since I've moved, I didn't plan anything, but now that I've been down here over 4 years, I know November's a little bit of a way, but November will be 5 years I've been in Florida, and I can hardly believe it. And I look at where I am today, and from the first day that I drove down here, and I remember crossing into the States, saw the sign, welcome to Florida. I was like, we did it. Where's my cat? Miles, where are you? He was my buddy on the trip. We drove down together. He was sleeping up on the dashboard and stuff. And of course, he meowed and whined for like the first 5 hours of the trip, which was like really annoying. It was just like, can you imagine just driving like 5 hours, you just keep hearing, so I'm lucky I didn't drive off the road somewhere. Right? I kept thinking I should just turn the car head on into the semi truck coming the other way. But he chilled out about after 10 hours. He finally got tired enough to go to sleep. And by the time we got down there, he was all right. He was like sleeping on the dashboard, like I said. But yeah, and I think about when I first rolled in here and didn't know anything, and I plopped in a spot, and then the way life kind of bounced around a little bit where I am today. I don't know. I'm just that way. I love to reflect. I don't like to take things too seriously, face value in each individual situation and moment, because really, just like building with Legos, it takes a whole bunch of them before you see the completed project. And that's like with life, like each little step, each day, each little situation is just another little Lego block until, and your vision of what your life is, and if you connect with it, you one block at a time, you build that vision, you see it come to be. It's I think I'll leave it with this. It's the most important thing, I think, to realize that if you have to be it, you have to, whatever it is you want to be in your life, like you have to be it, feel it, live it, and let the outside world then reflect it. Not looking around at the outside world of how to get to it or how to you're not going to get it out there. Like you get it here first, and then the outside world reflects back to you what's going on within yourself. And that's pretty much the way. A lot of people talk about they want to do this or they want to do that. I don't know what to do. And all that type of stuff. And it's not about, I don't know. You just think, get rid of those thoughts. It's not about not knowing what to do. It's like, to me, if you know you just feel there's a direction you want to take, just be with that feeling and just start taking actions that resonate with that feeling. You don't even have to choose or think about what those actions are. Just let the resonating of what you're feeling, let that just be the guide. And then you might be doing stuff you didn't even think you would be doing. I don't know. Just something little might turn into something to the next. It's just, you'd be surprised how it grows. And in today's world, with everything going on, it's obvious that we can't depend on the current hierarchy of power on either side. I'm not picking sides. I'm just saying the whole thing, the whole global conglomerate, buy and sell, marketing nonsense, products, consumerism, dumbing down a population, everything. So, we got to bring it back here to our heart and brew your millions, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, that's what we do. That's what we do. We brew our millions on OSQ. Yeah. Ayo. All right. So that's what I got for you here today on Operation Status Quo. I always thank you for your time to be here and put up with the mania that is Operation Status Quo. But it's a mania of love, a mania of trying to, I don't know if I'm trying. I guess I'm trying, just to put out positive in the world. I don't know, like this, maybe this broadcast, vibrates some frequency, even if nobody ever watches it, some kind of frequency in the universe that brings people to thinking something different than what they currently think. I wanted to just mention quickly, the website is in process. I'm probably going to take a good month or so before, a couple months maybe, before it's released and everything. But it's being worked, and that's good. I'm happy about it. I'm really excited to re-release the website, and I'm going to be starting on a new song. That's a little bit in process, but I'm going to get into that in another month or so. So yeah, stuff is coming and doing, and I appreciate you guys following along and having a good time. If you have any questions for any of the cast of the New World, please feel free to drop them in the comments here or send me a message, and I'll answer them. That's what I should do. You guys should send me questions about the cast, I should say, of the New World, and I'd be happy to answer, and maybe I can have them answer for you. You can ask Mama Vincenzo questions, and I'll have her here to answer answer live on the show. Maybe we can do something like that sometime. That would be fun. All right. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, as always, I thank you for your time here today with me on Operation Status Quo. If you haven't done so already, please like, subscribe, share, send this out to your friends, your family, those you love, and of course, those you despise as well. As you very well know, I love each and every one of you out there individually as well as a group. God bless you. And until next time, Operation Status Quo, disengaged. Your way, bye.